the forbidden blender.
What's up, Jim? Nothing but the ceiling right now, champ. Oh, Jim, you are just too much. The Jim who was just too much grooved his way down the row of cubicles. How were those figures looking, Jim? Fantastic, Bob. I just figured them out, up high. Extending his open palm for a high five, he surprised his supervisor, Bob, who reciprocated out of instinct and social conditioning. Moving past Bob and into his reinforced ergonomic chair, Jim fired up his workstation computer and started typing away. After a few minutes, a pair of eyes popped up over the cubicle wall, followed by a voice. "Morning, Jim." Jim swiveled in his chair towards his cubicle neighbor to his left. "Morning, Frankie. What's shakin'?" Frankie placed his hands on the tops of the cubicle board, lifting himself up slightly, revealing his face in its entirety. "You got the Gunther account?" "Indeedy do, Frankie boy." "Jeez, they've been having problems with that account for months. Word is that it's a nightmare. I heard the last guy who worked it quit. Towards the end, they say his hair was falling out from the stress. But I haven't seen you take a weekend off since you started on it. You look great. What's your secret?" The words breezed through Jim's mind, swirling around and conjuring up flashes and images of the past few months. The sleepless nights, the cold sweats, the constant vomiting, back and neck muscles locking up from the stress. The inside of the doctor's office, sterile smell, brusque words. "You don't need Valium, Mr. Zoltik, you need to manage your stress better." Sobbing in the car, sobbing in bed, asking, praying, screaming for somebody, anybody to take this crushing anxiety away. Make it easier. Just do it. The nightmares, so vivid. Then, calm. Darkness as he opened his eyes. The viscous black fluid writhing on top of him as he woke. Then it dripping onto the floor of his bedroom, pooling together, growing larger and larger. A towering black gelatinous mass. It rose high enough to smudge the ceiling, then burst like an inky black water balloon, disappearing through the cracks in the floor. Every morning he'd wake up, wrapped head to toe in black gunk. It would peel off on its own, form together, then disappear just as before. He'd feel so happy, so calm, ready to do anything. As he laid his head down to sleep, his back and neck starting to lock up again, out of the corner of his eyes, he'd start to see it bleed through the wall like an oil spill. Every day he'd wake up firing on all cylinders, but he'd feel more empty than the day before. Every day he'd wake up and it was bigger, thicker, darker. "Jim? Jim? You hear me? I asked what your secret was." Jim's face had the slightest flicker, a nanosecond of pain, fear, and disgust that went unnoticed. "Yoga, Frankie boy, just opens you up. You gotta try it sometime."